Hello everyone, it's Petra, and in this video I want to talk to you about colonics and enemas. Now I will be doing some filming in a colonic studio. I will not be filming my colonic process, that's a little personal, but I will be filming in a colonic studio so you have a better idea of what colonics are really about and what the whole process is. But I wanted to come to you now and create this video for you so that you can kind of get ready for it, so you can understand it. You could potentially even do some research and look for colonic studios in your area. And usually they're called also colon iridology or like colon water therapy. And also to be able to look into enemas and potentially buying an enema bag and sort of have this as another layer of cleansing that you can do throughout this cleanse, but really throughout your entire life. This is something that once you understand this process and you know it and you feel comfortable with it, doing an enema is something that you can do throughout your life whenever you're feeling maybe even like a little bit sick, or you just, had like a full night of partying and you want to heal and detoxify, or every once in a while you just want to take your health to that next level. Well, these are all ways that you can do that. So I really want to explain to you all about colonics and enemas so you understand this process. You could potentially get ready for it, maybe even book an appointment, or even have it in your headspace that this is another healing modality that exists in the world and that this is something that you can incorporate. Okay, so healing centers all over the world that are healing people naturally of cancer are encouraging people to do coffee enemas mainly, so enemas as well as colonics, colon hydrotherapy, because it's the fastest way for the body to get rid of the excess fecal matter as well as the toxins, and it's the fastest way for people to be able to cleanse and detoxify, right? So when people are really, really sick, what they're doing is they're helping the body get as clean as fast as possible so that the sickness can't live in there. So this is happening already. People are being naturally healed from a lot of major diseases from eating a lot of, juices, raw food, wheatgrass, doing all kinds of healing modalities, introducing the supplements we talked about, the super cleansers, as well as doing infrared saunas and colonics and enemas, okay? So this is a common thing amongst the healing world. It's just unfortunately not a common thing amongst our regular world, which is unfortunate because most of us are walking around very toxic and walking around with a lot of excess fecal matter that is creating us to be sick. Now, colonics are pretty amazing as well, and they involve going to a place to be able to do that. And I will be doing colonics at the end of my cleanse or near the end of my juice cleanse, and so I'll be encouraging you to do that and giving you more details on that as my daily videos are coming up. But I wanted you to be able to look into this process and understand it. And I want to give you a little bit of back history because enemas and colon hydrotherapy has been around for hundreds of years. Homeopathic doctors, when they first would go to someone's home, especially if someone had a fever or something was going on for them, the first thing they would do is they would give the person an enema, and instantly the body would release the fever and the person would be feeling better. Most of the time, if you have a fever, it's because the body is in such toxic shock overload and it wants to get the toxins out as fast as possible, but it can't. So it creates all of this heat and all this fever because the body's at like this threshold where it's just about to release. And so because the colon is the place that all the toxins sit, they're not able to get out fast enough. So the moment you do an enema, it's like you release the plug. It's almost like you've just you've pulled the plug on this bathtub full of sludge and it releases and you feel so much better. So a lot of the times being able to do an enema, for example, before you're feeling like you're getting sick, or if you are feeling like you need to do a massive cleanse, whatever that is, you're able to release toxins out of your body a lot faster. Now, doing enemas is not difficult. I know the first time I did one, I was really nervous and then went, oh, that's it. That's what it's about. So doing an enema is not that difficult. You can just do a plain water enema. You make sure that you have clean water, and it's usually room temperature water, so a little bit heated, for example, but not hot and not cold. And you can buy an enema bag at a lot of drugstores or even health food stores, or you can buy it on Amazon online. I think it costs like $5. And you would fill your enema bag with water, or you can do a coffee enema, which basically takes that enema and everything to the next level, because what it does is when it's a coffee enema, it reaches all the way up to the liver, and it starts to pump the liver and clean the liver at the same time as you're cleaning out your colon. Whereas with plain water, you're not reaching the liver. Okay, so that's why doing a coffee enema is the next level and next layer of cleansing, as opposed to just doing a water enema. But a water enema is still going to help you clean out your colon. And what you'd be doing is you're filling up your enema bag with the liquid, and you would hang it perhaps on your shower or on the door of your bathroom, somewhere that it's a little bit more elevated. You could lie in your bath and even fill your bath with nice warm water and bubbles, or you could lie on a towel on the floor, and you're going to take the tube of the enema and you're going to insert it up your bum. You usually use a little bit of coconut oil or some kind of lubricant. And again, it's just a small tube. It's not that scary. And you insert it up your bum, and then you release the clip and you let the water start draining into your bum. And that's why it's called water therapy or colon hydrotherapy, is because you're filling up your colon with liquid and water. And there's going to be a point where you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to poo. I can't take it. I can't take it. And you clip off the enema and you try and hold it as long as possible, you know, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then you get up and you go to the toilet and you release it. And this is not that disgusting, especially if you do it in a nice bathtub. And even if you release it a little bit in your bathtub, that's okay. It's your own fetus, so it's okay if you've got some stuff around, it's fine. I know it's kind of disgusting, but the truth is it's your own body, and better it come out than be living in there creating sickness, right? So, but most of the time you're able to hold it enough to get up and go to the bathroom, put your feet up when you go poo, and release the water, and then do it again till the rest of your water is released. And that's pretty much it. It's not painful. It's kind of pretty simple. It's just a matter of doing it for the first time. Now, doing colonics is kind of the same thing, except that you have a practitioner there assisting you, and there's a full-on machine that you can even see what is coming out of your body, which is kind of amazing, because you'll be able to see sometimes long, hard, caked on pieces of poo that have been there forever. Sometimes you can see parasites or little worms coming out. You can see a lot of the times a lot of mucus and plaque. And you can just witness what's really inside of your body that you're releasing and saying, hallelujah, bye-bye, I don't need you, thank you, see you later. And so you can visually see that. And what happens is the nurse practitioner will massage your belly in a proper rotation so that it's pushing the fecal matter out. So they're kind of assisting with that process. And they're also going to be controlling the water in and out. And it's really clean, it's really safe. You don't ever have poo all around you or anything. It's a very, very clean process, but it's kind of the same thing. You'd go there, you'd put on a gown, you put a tube up your bum, and you lie there on your back with your feet up, and you allow her to fill your belly with water till you can't take it, and then you tell her to hold it, and you hold it as long as possible, and then you say, okay, I'm going to release, and then she opens up the valve and you release, and you actually see everything that's inside of your body through this glass tube that's coming out. And it's pretty amazing. And I want to share with you some personal stories of mine as well as some of my clients during their colonic experience, so that you kind of have an understanding a little bit more even what people go through. So one example is I had a client who was a fairly skinny, very small framed Asian woman who did a 10-day water fast. So she was only drinking water for 10 days. Now, amazingly enough, she was still pooing every single day. So she was not eating any food, any solids, but her body was still cleaning out excess fecal matter that had been stored in there for years and years and years. And when she went and did a colonic session after her water fast, she was so shocked at how much was coming out of her. Again, because she hadn't been eating any solid food. So it just goes to show how it's really caked on inside of our intestines. Even if we're pooing daily, we still are carrying around excess fecal matter. And my personal story is when I just, last year when I did my juice cleanse and I did 3 colonics, kind of the same thing. My colon hydrotherapist said to me, you know, there's like, I can feel there's something hard in there, and she was kind of moving it through. And on my second colonic, I had a, very personal, you guys, but I'm sharing with you, I had like a hard piece of black poo that was like this long that we both knew had been in my body, in my intestines, for like a really long time. I had another client who was a fairly bigger man, and he actually had a big belly, and he was doing colonics, and he actually even saw long parasites going through, and that was probably because he was a fairly heavy meat eater, and parasites can get in through meat eating. And yeah, so there's just like a lot of people go through this experience of really like, wow, this is really incredible, because even while you're doing your juice cleansing and you're barely eating any food, if you're eating any solid food at all, you're going to still notice that you're probably pooing every single day. And if you do choose to go do colonics or enemas, it's really amazing how much excess fecal matter is going to be coming out of your system. Now, if you do choose to do colonics, I always say that it's best to do 3, at least 3. 3 is a pretty great number. You can always do more, like 5. If you're feeling like there's a lot coming out of you, then keep it coming out. But 3 is awesome because the first one usually goes in and kind of loosens everything up. So the juicing will already do that. But the first colon hydrotherapy session will get the water in and kind of loosen everything up. The second one, I usually find most of the stuff comes out. And the third one is sort of just the leftovers. And again, if you've got a lot of stuff coming out of you in the third one, then you might want to book yourself a 4th one. And I usually do them a couple days apart. So I would, you know, near the end of my cleanse, I will do colon hydrotherapy session, and then most likely 2 days later, I'll do another one, and then maybe a day later, I'll do another one. And I also make sure that I take really good high quality probiotics, as I was mentioning to you, in our super cleansers and supplements. But because we've got water irrigation going up our bodies, it can affect our good flora and our good bacteria in there. And so you want to really make sure that you're taking probiotics if you're doing any type of colon hydrotherapy or enemas. So you guys, I think that's kind of it. Like I said, I would do a little bit of research, look into it. You know, if you went and talked to a doctor, they're going to tell you, oh no, that's dangerous and you shouldn't do that. So you got to figure out who you choose to listen to, because the naturopathic doctors are moving in that direction, and cleanses and natural healing centers all over the world move in that direction. And the regular medical society moves in a very different direction, right? So both are awesome for different things, and you just got to choose what feels really right for you and your body and what you'd like to do. But I love doing colonics, and I like doing enemas as well. And I think they're really miraculous and amazing for the body, and they are a great, you know, partner with your juice cleanse and with your Eat Juicy Food cleanse. So sending you so much love. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And you guys, I just want to say that I'm super proud of you. All of this is probably, you know, most of it is probably very new for you, or it's a little overwhelming. It can feel even a little bit daunting, but you know, knowledge is power. And the more information that you take on, the more that you learn, the more empowered you are going to be, the healthier you're going to be, the more in control of your life, the more in control of your health, and the more you're going to be able to prevent sickness and really thrive in your life. So whatever you're doing right now is awesome preventative medicine, and it's really, really amazing, and I'm super proud of you. So way to go, and I look forward to seeing you again. Aloha.